Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do begin, let us give a brief little review. In the last part, we had the Todoroki family. They went on a roller coaster, one that was on fire, and the track was broken. The Todoroki family, they reunited with Dabi, and Dabi fought Endeavor. He made Endeavor hear the worst things his family thinks about him. He made Endeavor hear about how Ray wanted to kill him. She thought about it. So fucking easy. But she didn't. And she regrets it. Now, after Deku made Ray give that speech, she slit her own throat. The last thing she could ever do to Endeavor that she'd be in control of. Now, Shoto Todoroki shut down when he saw that. It just caught him by complete surprise. He never made amends with his mother. He never tried to make a connection with her. The last real connection he really had with her was when she tried to comfort him before burning his face. And that, it does stick with him. Now, Deku, after that all happened, he got out of there before the building does come down. He then talked to All For One about how, with Hawks here, he has a better plan for what to do with one student. Because, hey, what better way to fuck with somebody? Now, All For One, he's not gonna lie. He's on board with this. Izuku's done well. He's only seen the type of loyalty that these Nomu and girls have to Deku that he's seen with Gigantomachia. It's interesting. He makes them follow them by making them think his ideals are theirs. Or, vice versa, that their ideals are really his. Jiro, she has been led to the idea that the society in front of them is false. Pros, they hide their own dirty secrets. They work directly in the justice system. Who's to say they haven't either taken justice into their own hands or hidden the fact that they have? Now, Jiro, she thinks that a lot of pros, they're twisted and sick. Because if Ida was going to be a pro and he could hurt her, somebody he knows and survived a horrific experience with, if he's going to put his own ideas of revenge and justice before protecting his own friend, what does that say about him doing this to a stranger? He wouldn't bat an eye because he's not batting an eye there. Now, Deku also has Toga. Toga already was not very mentally stable. Yet he made her dive into that side of herself. The side that she was already descending into. Deku just sped that process up. Now, All For One, he is intrigued to see where this one goes. Because Deku, he doesn't want to just make Ibarra somebody loyal to him. He wants to try and make somebody else loyal from Class 1B. And that will definitely be fun. Now, Deku, he actually does have a fun idea with this. If he doesn't have their loyalty, he'll have their quirk. Which will be the next best thing, because then they'll be useful to him. Now, Deku, he does get things ready. And after he did get a few other things going on, he was ready the next day. Hawks was already being put under. His quirk was being removed, and right now, it's going to be given to Deku. Deku will get it, the altered form of it, and then things will be ready. Now, All For One will give Deku the quirk. And whenever he does, Deku, he actually did have Mr. Compress set a few things up. Dabi was there. He was still mad. And after Ibarra was let go, whenever she was surrounded by villains all of a sudden, she tried to go on offense. However, with a quick attack, she was quickly subdued. And they explained to her about what is going to happen. If she doesn't comply, Renegade, he might give her a penalty. Now, Ibarra, hearing that, she did start to comply. Because if she can't get out of here in a place surrounded by villains, she's not gonna make this worse. Now, Ibarra, she listened. And right now, Deku, he would actually come into the room. As whenever Ibarra does see him, she feels the presence of evil. She feels disdain, just this emotion resonating from him. It feels scary. Now, Ibarra's not too sure if it might be a quirk or just her own judgment on the guy. And right now, Deku, he does look up towards her, as he does tell Ibarra, it's so nice to meet her. He is here to talk to her and extend an olive branch. Now, right now she doesn't believe Deku. Why is he here and why? Why does he want to talk to her? Now, Deku just tried to explain. And right now Ibarra, fuck no. She is not helping this guy with anything. She has heard about him. He's crazy, he's insane, and he's practically the devil. Now, Ibarra does say that last part. And Deku, he smiles. Now, he does get to tell Ibarra she doesn't understand the devils she's already dealing with. Deku turning back towards her and explaining to her, as he does get Todoroki bring his hands up to his helmet, going to pull it off, and right now Ibarra to see his face, as Deku does explain to her, as he does going to wipe away the makeup, and she does look at him stunned. Izuku? Now, Deku does stare at Ibarra, before going to tell her, she really doesn't know anything. She really doesn't understand anything, does she? Now, Deku would go to set down his helmet. And right now, he does go to turn and bring his hands up, going to unzip his jacket, and then go to let it drop to the ground, her hearing the metallic clanking of metal. And right now Deku would tell her, he is renegade. It's true. He does have to at least confirm that for her, but she doesn't understand why he's doing this. Now, Ibarra does start to shout at him. She thought Renegade was just some random villain, but it is a guy she fucking knows. She has talked to before. Someone she likes as a friend. I mean, this guy is just so... It's unnerving to her, because he could have killed her. Now, this is something that Deku does see. And right now, he actually going to bring his hands up and begin to start unbuttoning his shirt, telling Ibarra she doesn't understand a thing about evil. Deku turning around and telling her, evil is everywhere. Evil is something that she can't fully understand. Now, Ibarra is very confused. And right now, when she does try to at least fight her restraints, there's where a hand does come directly up and onto her wrist. And right now, she actually going to turn and directly make eye contact with Momo. And Ibarra, her face will go to widen. As Momo, she actually is going to back away and then go to sit there. As right now, she actually will go to, well, adjust her body and get a bit more comfortable. Before there actually is Mina, who does actually have her tail come up and over and lay down on Ibarra's left shoulder, her turning her head to see it. And there actually was whenever Mina showed her face. Now, Deku, he does tell Ibarra, as he actually has his shirt dropped to the floor and his back is exposed to her. She does going to look right back at him, her focus being drawn on the scars. Now, Deku actually going to turn back to her, telling her, it's quite the damage, isn't it? Him walking up towards her, and going to bring his hands down onto both sides of the chair, and leaning forwards, telling her, the damage was from his wings. They were taken from him. Now, Ibarra, she's caught off guard. Wings? Now, Deku would explain to her, yes, wings. His brother took them. In fact, he's still quite angry with him. He tries to do what he does to get attention. He tries to do what he does because he's not the one who went to hell. Now, that does confuse her. And Deku does tell her, as he actually were to stand back up, Ibarra compared him to the devil. That's not untrue. In, well, their scripture, he was called the devil, but he was not the one known as Lucifer. Now, Ibarra is caught off guard, and right now Deku would try to tell her. The information that has been passed down, some is remembered, much is remembered, but a lot of it has been lost. Mistranslation or damage. Mishearing one simple word from one text that's been overlooked for thousands of years. Mistranslating a single phrase once can change everything. He's not surprised the part about the trick his brother pulled wasn't kept in records. It's something that he would destroy. And right now, Ibarra, she's still confused. And Deku gonna tell her again. Him going to actually bring his hands up, and right now, a pair of wings were gonna sprout from Deku's back. Now, Ibarra is confused. He had scars. Oh, no. But this phenomenon, it shouldn't be possible. Now, Ibarra is confused. She's not sure what to even say. Izuku's claiming to be... No. Now, Ibarra does try to ask questions, and right now she's trying to understand. Why is Izuku an angel? A fallen angel. Now, Deku would express to her. It's all quite simple. He's already told her. However, right now he is worried. Well, he has come from hell. His brother still is up above. He's still doing mischief while claiming to be the face of good. He was once known as the Lightbringer. And while he is no longer known by that title, his brother, his final trick, is what switched their roles. His brother pulled a trick that not even God may have noticed. Now, right now Ibarra, she doesn't want to flinch hearing Deku say it like that. It's so confusing to her. Now, Deku, he does lure her in. And right now Ibarra, she is trying to think. This could be a false promise, but she doesn't understand. Now, Ibarra does try to fight this. There's no way. But that just doesn't make sense. He couldn't have been tricked. But if he was... No, that doesn't... Now, Ibarra is rolling it around over and over again in her head. And Deku, he actually going to walk over to her before telling her, as his walk around the chair and bring his hands up to it, that he'll show her what he's seen. The eyes, they can say quite a lot. A window to the soul. Yeah. Ibarra, she does see many things. And right now, it's all things that Deku, he's made up. Images in his mind. Some that he's looked up himself. Adjusted. Slightly tweaked a bit. Things that make it look real. He's imagined an entire battle just for this. And that battle, yeah. It's a holy war. And that does shock Ibarra. Deku shows her memories. He fought. He tried to do what was right. He tried to kill the serpent. But the serpent, it cast him down. It gave him his face, and it took his own. It was so sad. Now, Ibarra, she's still trying to understand this. Get over the shock of all this. And Deku just tried to tell her. He wants to task her with something to do. Something to help him take down his brother. And Ibarra? Yeah. Right after what she's seen, these emotions, these feelings, the the determination, the the heightened state of mind, the way she felt looking through his eyes. Now, Deku, he actually wanted someone to fall forwards in pain, and Reno Ibarra would see the illusion. She would watch as Deku's wings burst into flames, and after Deku is going to scream in agony, he will going to fall forward. And right now, after he does going to do that, he does going to look back up towards Ibarra, as she actually does find her restraints not on her arms or her legs. Her going to stand up and walk around. As she watches the scars, they are burned into Deku's back before they do go to fade and look the way they did earlier. And right now, Ibarra is confused. Now, Deku would try to explain a little trick his brother let him have. The last little fuck you he ever really gave him. Because it always pops right back up. A constant reminder. No. Ibarra? Yeah. That looks like something that the devil would do. Or, well, I guess Lucifer, if she's not dealing with... Yeah, that's still confusing. Now, Ibarra, right now she is still concerned, still confused. And while Deku, he may have been able to draw her in, now he just has to keep her under supervision. Now, Deku is quite happy with that. And after he does go to leave Ibarra, he does go to actually talk to another UA student. As right now, we actually do have... What was his name? Ah, yes. Drot... Ah. Jurota... I'm not going to say that last name because I can't even pronounce it. Anyways. Now, Jurota, he is in a bit of trouble. He found himself strapped to a chair and being held at gunpoint by villains. And that was not a good way to suddenly go from fighting for your life against a villain to fighting for your life against a... You know what? Not much really changed. Now, Deku, whenever the guy was sitting there, he did start to go over quite a few things. Right now, he's going to be honest with him. He's going to tell him quite simply, Deku actually going to bring his hand up and going to place a nail directly on top of his palm, before telling him that this is going to be quite simple. What he's going to do is ask him a question. If he gets it wrong, Deku going to gesture with his hand, as he does throw it over, that he's going to hit this nail. And right now, he does want him to understand. Deku moving his hand again, before just simply throwing it over and smashing the nail down onto the man's palm. And right now, after he does go to scream out in pain, Deku go to tell him, as he does go to bring his hands up. And that's how that works. Now, the guy does sit there restrained, and right now after going to activate his quirk, there is where he actually is going to throw up his right leg kicking renegade. And right now, whenever Deku is flying across the room, he does smash into somebody. The guy actually going to, with his foot, grab the gun and go to kick it as well. As right now, after he was able to catch it and do that, he does go to bring his hands up. Him going to pull his hand up and off of the nail. Now, he does feel the pain from it, but right now after he does break free, he does attack the villains, before going to turn and run out the door. Now, he does get down the hallway, and right now after going to turn and run, he does find a window before leaping out, before finding himself sitting back in the chair. Now, the guy does sit there, and currently Deku does go to ask him, is something wrong? Now, Right now, the guy is confused, as right now another Deku will go to pop up directly next to him on the right. As Deku does inform him, he's so happy that he's conscious again. It's been some time. Hmm? What? What's going on? Oh, nothing much. I found out this trick whenever I was trying to do a few things. Create the paradise for Momo in her head. Find the way to allow Mina to think things are still normal for her. She does listen, but she still does despise me. Then again, she has warmed up to me. In her own way, I guess. Then again, that might just be her other personality. Such a good, fine pet. Denki, though, he's not really much to hear from, I guess. You're a psycho. Yes, and you're full of nails. Now, the guy would go to look back down, and right now, after he does see that there are tons of wounds on his arms, he will go to scream out. As Deku, he does allow him to feel the pain. He does allow him to feel the pain of nails running through the top of his arm, and actually being pinned to his own bones. He feels the agony. And right now, Deku, he actually going to tell him, as he currently is trying to catch his breath from screaming, that he does want to tell him. How many times has he been in this room? How many times has he been in this position? How many times does he think he's been here? How long does he think he's been here? Now, he would go to try and answer. Right now, he is trying to think that this is the first time he's revealed himself. The first time that he's done this. But Deku is trying to tell him that's not really the case. In fact, he hasn't really been keeping count. Then again, that could be a lie. He might find that out the next time they have this first time meeting. Then again, he could tell him a number. Or, ooh, I know, we can guess. Now, Jotaro, he does throw out a guess, and Deku does tell him no. And right now, after he does try to gasp and catch his breath, he does try to say another number. Before Deku does tell him, that is the 6th time. He is still wrong. How about this? He'll give him a hint. It starts with, well, 4 or possibly 5 digits. Does he know which? No. The guy will go to at least try and think. As he does go to at least say, 4? No. Deku, he does tell him, making a buzzing sound, that that is incorrect. Now, time for the penalty. Now, with that, Deku, he does go to do something else. As right now the guy does feel a lot more pain. Now, Deku is going to tell him, as he actually does go to feel himself on fire, about how he's not too sure if he's really going to be able to hear this, but he's been in here more than, what was it? 10? No. 1100? No, wait. 11,000? 125 or 26? Now, right now the guy, he is in hell. And Deku did try to at least explain to him that on the next go around. Now then, with that being said, we currently do have with UA. UA, after this was bad. I mean, fuck. 2 of their students are missing, and the other 2, they're in the hospital. The last 2 original students of Class 1A, they are still alive. But other class members of Class 1B, they've lost their lives. Right now, Izuku Midoriya and Ochako Yuyuraka, they're the last ones left. And that, UA has to live with. Right now, they are going to be shutting down their school. And that decision, if the villains are not caught, might be permanent. This school has already had enough casualties. And right now, it's sad to say, but class courses are over. Every student who is on campus, they can still live here if they are scared. Security is going to be increased tenfold if they can. No, 100-fold. UA, they will make it a fucking fortress in order to protect these children. And if they need to, kill the monsters. Now, with that, there actually is Deku, who, whenever he was visited in the hospital by All Might, he had quite a few things to say to him. Izuku handled himself out there bravely. He handled himself well. And he is sorry to hear about Bakugo being kidnapped. Now, Deku does try to at least talk to All Might. And All Might, he hasn't said it yet, but Deku, he has already heard. As right now he does lay there and try to hide his smile. As All Might does start to explain, he has a friend called David Shield. Right now, he wants to take them to a possible exhibit on a place called Island. Not only does David know that he's going to be there, there's something that David might want to give him as a gift. Something that can help take down these villains. He wants Izuku to have peace of mind, especially after all that he has been through. All he has suffered from him not taking proper action. And Izuku, he doesn't understand. As right now, All Might, he will go to leave. He's not sure if taking them to the exhibit could be the safest option, but it's out of Japan. It does give them some time. He can't retire just yet. This device David is offering him, hopefully it's his solution. It's his way around this problem. Then he can actually be active, be involved. He's felt sidelined this whole time, even though he's a savior to many. Now, All Might, he is having a bit of a downing episode. He's feeling the regret. So much life lost. All because he took a day off. Now then, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next one.